truth. While I'll answer that question in my way, but the fact that the argument that is advanced before my lords, that the rules of the game have been changed once the game has begun, namely that after the advertisement, the qualifying...
No, this is not an argument. Argument of their part is advertisement was issued pursuant to the rules.
Yeah.
On the date of the advertisement, whatever the rules in vogue, that cannot be changed.
That is
there.
So they said
so
it cannot
in case of otherwise we are
subsequently, it cannot be changed subsequently after the advertisement. That is the case. Now, my lords, this ground is nowhere emerging at all anywhere in the SLP. So therefore, for anyone to have addressed that in a reply or put those documents there, my lords, it will be testing us to a point that we can answer only what is being urged there. Having said that, but I will nevertheless make an endeavor to satisfy my lords. My lords, my first submission that I make to my lords is that the authority under the central government, which is going to fix the minimum qualification envisaged under section 23 for purpose of appointment of teachers, whether it's to the primary or to the secondary school, is the NCTE. NCTE lays down that minimum qualification. It may be open for the states to have higher. It may be open to have lower. It is also open.
Not low.
Well, not lower than what NCTE?
Yes.
Absolutely. I bow down.
Minimum standards.
I was on the mind with Ctet. I bow down. I was wrong. I stand corrected. My lords are right. So, my lords, the states are required to they may conduct their own TET exam. But in the event they do not conduct their own TET exam, the 2010 notification makes a provision. However, TET is like an essential prerequisite for the purpose of a state considering the candidate both on the qualification, which is the B.Ed or the D.Led, or as the case may be, what my learned friend showed, plus the TET, before any candidate can be considered for purpose of appointment to the post of a teacher. Now, my lords, in the 2010, I will only request you for a moment to read with me page 226 and 227. I'm going to be very, my lords, fast, and I'll try to do it as swiftly as possible, I assure you. But so, my lords, this is the NCTE. This is the 2010. It has been read, but I read it with a small difference. And my lords were right, and my lords said that my lords have read somewhere in NCTE that there is a period of validity. Undoubtedly, it is here at page 227. TET conducted, one is by the central government, will apply to all schools referred to in subclause 1-2, which is the central government schools, my lords. I'm not going to change that position. TET conducted by a state government or a UT will apply to schools of a state government or a UT. So, my lords, state governments or UT, their TET which is conducted will apply to them. My lords, please come to the one below. That is what I'm concerned with. A school at 1 and 2, which is under B, which is the state or the UT school, may also consider eligibility of a candidate who has obtained TET certificate awarded by another state UT with legislature. In case the state government UT with legislature, so first sentence is, my law said it can consider. It's not that it is, the state is completely barred from taking into consideration a TET qualification a candidate may have acquired from another state or from the Ctet. Next sentence, my lords, and a separate sentence. In case, now what happens where a case the state does not conduct? In case a state government decides not to conduct TET, a school at 1 and 2 in the state UT would consider. First of all, it may consider them. Number 2, if you don't conduct the exam, you would
They decide not to conduct.
My lords, I agree.
It's a decision by the state.
But the first...
Not that simply non-conduct of exam.
My lords, I read the two separately. I read the first sentence separately and I read the second sentence separately.
Yes.
The first sentence is, it may consider. And the second sentence is, if they decide not to conduct the exam, then, my lords, they can take both of them. So, my lords, what I'm trying to say is, the minimum eligibility criteria of TET being one of the prerequisites for purpose of appointment as a teacher, the qualification does not go away. The test does not go away. The requirement is there to have that test. But you can consider the test from that conducted by Ctet, which is a central government, or that of any other state. The state can do that. My lords, I know my lords have a question on the advertisement. Allow me, give me a moment. I'll try and answer that to the best of my ability. Would my lords now turn over the page? And my lords were absolutely correct when my lords mentioned that my lords had a recollection on a validity. And it's a very important facet. Today, maybe the NCTE and the state has said that it is valid for your life. But there is a very big importance, and I'll make good that why it is important. Appropriate government should conduct TET at least once every year. Should. The validity period of TET qualifying certificate for appointment will be decided by appropriate government subject to maximum of 7 years for all categories. But there will be no restriction on number of attempts a person can take for acquiring TET certificate. A person who has qualified TET may also appear again for improving his or her score. So, my lords, continuing improvement, changing, etc. is something that NCTE recognizes and suggests. Maybe perhaps today they have said that it is possible you can have the qualification for life to have an appointment as well.
Where is that?
My lords, I am informed by my colleague that subsequently, even in Jharkhand...
No, not Jharkhand, because they say maximum is 7.
It is dated now. 9/6/2011. 2021.
How can they do it? This is maximum is 7.
Extension of validity period of teachers